All right, we give praise, esteem, and honor to the living Elohim in the name of Yahushua HaMashiach this day. Pick this up in John chapter 5, verse 39. Search the scriptures, for in them you think you have eternal life, and they are they which testify of me. And you will not come to me that you might have life. I receive not honor from men. I know. Hey, get off the couch. That's what you do. Go over there with your mom. Because she asked you to do something, you went to cheese it. Go over there with your mom. All right, John chapter 5, verse 39. Search the scriptures, for in them you think you have eternal life, and they are they which testify of me. And you will not come to me that you might have life. I receive not honor from men, but I know you, that you have not the love of Elohim in you. I come in my Abba name, you receive me not. If another shall come in his own name, him you will receive. How can you believe which receive honor one from another, and not the honor that comes from Elohim only? Do not think that I will accuse you. The Abba, there is one that accused you, even Moses, in whom you trust. Had you believed Moses, you would have believed me, for he wrote of me. But if you believe not his writings, how should you believe my words? Well, praise be to Elohim in the name of Yahushua HaMashiach. Everybody in here remember what Purim is? You remember what it is? What about you, sir? You remember? You remember my thing? So that don't mean that. So there's no need for us to do any rehashing on that. I'm asking because I don't want us to go backwards, and we don't need to. So let's go ahead and get this Psalms 35 out of the way. You can grab your Zechariah chapter 5 while you're at it. After that, we'll go where the Lord leads us to go. Hey, all little children, come on from over there and come over here so I can see. No, I mean it's all the way over here so I can see you. That way you won't be tempted to play. Because see, while you over there and your back turned, and you'll be tempted to play. What's up, Bird? You good? 35. $35 and 1, if you would. Plead my cause, O Yahuwah, with them that strive with me, and fight against them that fight against me. Take hold of shield and buckler and stand up for my help. Draw out also the spear. Stop the way against them that persecute me. Say unto my soul, I am your salvation. Let them be confounded that put me to shame, that seek after my soul. Let them be turned back and brought to confusion that devise my hurt. Hey, hold on. Don't follow her. Come over here with the rest of them. Yeah, just come on over here with the rest of them. Especially you. Just come on over here with the rest of them. Just come on over here with the rest of them. Hang out over there. You won't be tempted to play. Just sit on right there. You know what I'm talking about? Bust your book open, follow along, and do your thing. You know what I'm talking about? You all right? You got your knees out. You like it like that? No, I'm talking about your jeans. You like your jeans like that? That's why I'm asking. You got your knees out. You feel comfortable like that. That's your style. I'm not mad at you. I'm asking. You know what I'm saying? So I see you into the distress dinner. I see you. You ain't a little boy no more. You're a young man. Let them be turned back that brought the confusion that devised my hurt. Let them be as chaff before the wind, and let the Malachim of Yahuwah chase them. Let their way be darkened and slippery. Let the Malachim of Yahuwah persecute them. For without cause have they hid me for their net. In a pit, without cause, have they digged for my soul. Then you go ahead and get them right before they go to cranking up and they be in their way. Let destruction come upon him that unawares, and let his net, he that hath catch himself in the very destruction, let him fall. And my soul shall be joyful in Yahuwah, and shall rejoice in his salvation. All my bones shall say, Yahuwah, who is like unto you? Which deliver the poor from him that is too strong for him, yea, the poor and needy from him that spoil him. False witnesses did rise up, and they laid to my charge things that I knew not. Motherfucker, go get the dough. They rewarded me evil for good to the spoiling of my soul. But as for me, when they were sick, my clothing was sackcloth. I humbled my soul with fasting, and my prayer returned into my own bosom. I had behaved myself as though he had been my friend or brother. I had bowed down heavily as one that mourned for his mother. But in my adversity they rejoiced and gathered themselves together. Yea, the abject gathered themselves together against me, and I knew it not, and they did tear me and cease not. With hypocritical mockers in feast, they gnashed upon me with their teeth. Let's return to this Zechariah 5. We're going to start isolating some of these verses in a moment. I believe we stopped at verse 4. I'll read verse 3 again, though. She took Buggy to the bathroom. Then he said unto me, this is the curse that go over the face of the whole earth. For everyone that steals shall be cut off, as on this side according to it. Everyone that swears shall be cut off, as on that side according to it. And I will bring it forth, saith Yahuwah of hosts. And it shall enter into the house of the thief, into the house of him that swear falsely by my name, and it shall remain in the midst of his house, and shall consume it with the timber thereof and the stones thereof. Now we're going to take a little different approach with the thief. Y'all know who the thief is, right? Who is the thief, Stanks? You know? Oh, you don't know? Oh. Who is the thief? Hey, sit down and pay attention. Don't play. Ain't no playing. Ain't no congregating. Ain't no fraternizing. That's not what you're here for. If you want to fraternize, you can go out there in the backyard in the dark because ain't no light back there. And it's a nice big dog live next door. Sometimes he jump the fence. Sometimes he don't. Nobody knows. Who would like to go out there in the dark and find out? You chose wisely. Y'all know who the thief is, right? You got two answers you can come with. You know who it is, Renee? You looking like you're trying to figure it out. Oh, you don't know? Oh, I thought you knew. Oh, you know? Is that what you said? Yeah, you said you know. Oh, I thought you knew. Well, who is the thief? He a bad guy. Hey, why you over there talking? You ain't got nothing to talk about. Excuse me, sir. Carry on. Oh, so at nighttime he like to steal it. But who is the thief? Who is the thief? Yeah. Oh, we got you stumped now, huh? Your explanation was good. It's very excellent. You say the devil? What make you say that? Because what? Your mama told me you like to lie. Are you a son of the devil? I can't tell it. Because if you lie, that means you're born of the devil. You born of the devil? But your mama say you like to lie. You like to lie? Shoot. You think you're lying to me right now. If I ask your mama, do you tell lies, what's she going to tell? So then you just lied to me when I asked you, do you tell lies? You said no. No, I said, do you tell lies? Shoot, if you're telling them, you like them. What you lie for? Why you tell lies? I'm just curious. I'm not being funny. I'm just curious. Do you tell lies to not get in trouble? I wagered so. When you're about to lie, do you really just be scared? Do you know it's better to tell the truth and deal with the consequences of the truth than to tell a lie, get caught in a lie, and deal with the consequences of your actions and the lie? That's double trouble. Telling lies only make it worse for you, man. It don't make it better. You think you're going to get away, but you really don't get away. You know what I'm saying? But I get you, though. You be like this here. Shoot, if I tell her I did that, I'm probably going to get in trouble. And you get nervous. But it's better to just go ahead and tell the truth, man. Because if you find out you're lying, you're going to get in trouble anyway. Then if you get found out to be a liar, don't nobody really going to trust and believe what you say. And do you want to be in the same level of the devil? Because you just said the devil is a liar, right? That's what you just said, right? So if we lie, what would that make us? Oh, what's good, Magic? Why I didn't know you stayed down here? Yes, sir. Huh? What would that make you, son? No, it wouldn't make you the devil. It would make you like him. Do we want to be like him? Does Yahuwah tell lies? So who would we rather be like? Would we want to be like Yahuwah, or would we want to be like the devil? And if Yahuwah doesn't tell lies, what does that mean Yahuwah does? So what is it better for you to do? And you know what else is better for you to do? Not get into mischief, son. A lot of times what you think you're going to get in trouble for, you probably not. If you just be honest. You probably won't even get in trouble. Because I understand that's why most people lie, because you're scared. You know what I'm saying? Takes more of a man to tell the truth and suffer the consequences of his actions than it is to lie to try to not suffer them. Makes you more of an honorable man. Don't you want to be an honorable man? And you got to know how to stand up and take accountability for what you do. Be responsible for your choices. You understand what I'm saying? Do you understand? I'm trying to make sure you understand. I'm not picking on you.
Hey, be quiet.
Hey, now that's the second grown man here had to tell y'all to be quiet. So if I have to tell you, I'm gonna pull my slapper out. Would you like to see it? Would you like to experience the slapper? Because y'all being rude and disrespectful. Y'all not babies no more. I'm tired of the disrespect. Sit down, be quiet, and pay attention. If you cannot do that, you'll suffer the according consequences for your choices. Ain't nobody playing with y'all.
Hey, sir.
Boy, be quiet. Ain't nobody call you. You want to be acknowledged? Come on over here and be acknowledged then. That's what you want. You want me to acknowledge you? Come on, son. What's up, man? You good? You good? You cool? Yeah. Can you go back over there and sit down for me? All right. You understand what I'm saying to you, Mike? It's better to be an honorable man. It's better to be like Yahuwah than to be scared. Because, see, I get it. You done did something you ain't had no business. You scared you're going to get in trouble. But you were going to get in trouble if you lie. The main thing is you want to be a man of your word. And you want people to trust what you say. Because they don't trust what you say, then that's going to be a horrible life for you. You won't understand it fully till you're a man. You don't want to be known as somebody who doesn't tell the truth. Let's take a look at this on the thief wise, because we're going to take a different direction for it. You can come on to John chapter 10. You can pick it up at 10 and 7 if you would. Then said Yahushua unto them again, truly, truly, I say unto you, I am the door of the sheep. All that ever came before me are thieves and robbers, but the sheep did not hear them. I am the door. By me, if any man enter in, he shall be saved and shall go in and out and find pasture. The thief come not but for to steal, to kill, and to destroy. And I am come that they might have life and they might have it more abundantly. What did we look at last night in regards to them stealing? Because we read last night, he said, everyone that steals shall be cut off. What did we look at in that regard that related to that? Oh, you was looking like you wanted to answer. No, that was something else. That's the other item. Well, you all right, boy. Y'all don't remember? You know, Renee? You even know how to read? What about you, Stanks? You know how to read? Can you write at a high level? Huh? Why not? You look like you right. You look like you write a lot. Oh, she does? You like to write? Then why do you write a lot if you don't like to write? Huh? Huh?
Hey, ain't nobody talking to you.
Oh, y'all don't remember? Well, somebody go to Jeremiah 23 and read me verse 30. Maybe that'll help freshen your mind up. Mean Gene, don't let nobody get you in trouble, cuz.
To the bottom.
Hey, stop pointing at each other. Or y'all poke somebody in the eye. And grandma, cover your head up. Yeah, I'm talking to you. Somebody found Jeremiah 23 and 30 for me? You found it, Michael? Read it for me. Jeremiah, the book of Jeremiah, 23rd chapter, in the 30th verse. Read it for me. You let me know when you find it, son, and you read it for me. You found it? Read it for me, son. Take your time, son. Take your time. You see a word you don't know? Come over here. Let me see. Come this way, son. Come this way. Show me where you at. See, you in the wrong chapter, son. See, you got to be over here. That's the chapter you wanted.
Sit right
That's the verse you want.
Yes.
30. 30. Tell me what 30 say, son. Say therefore.
Therefore,
Uh-huh.
I am against.
I am against. Who are you against? You see something you don't know? Well, that's prophets.
It's for
I am against the prophets.
Uh-huh.
Say
Say if you're who?
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
God used their tongues and said, he said, behold.
Oh, so you in the wrong verse, son. You skipped down to 31. You need to be in 30. Therefore, behold,
I am against
the what?
I am against the prophets.
Saith who?
Saith
Yahuwah.
Yahuwah.
That do what? What do they do?
That steal my words.
They do what?
That steal my words.
They do what?
Steal my words.
That steal my words, everyone from his neighbor. Go ahead and sit down, son. What do y'all think that means? Steal my words, everyone from his neighbor. Y'all got any idea what that could mean? I know I mentioned it last night. What do y'all think that means to steal words, everyone from his neighbor? Say that again, son. Say the words that they were going to say? What do you mean by that? Oh, they going to say the wrong words anyway?
No, I said they know they're going to say the words, but they're going to say the words that they were going to say.
That's correct. And you know what happens when you do that? You take the word away from your neighbor. Take a look at something here in Zechariah chapter 8, if you would. Bird, stop playing before you get yourself in trouble. And I don't want that to happen to you. You understand? Zechariah 8 and 16. Zechariah chapter 8, verse 16. These are the things that you shall do. Matter of fact, you can back it up to verse 9 on general principle. Just on general principle. Hey, stop all that shushing. Just be quiet. 8 and 9, son. Y'all doing all that. That's just as rude as you talking. You ain't got to shush nobody. You ought to know to be quiet. If you don't know to restrain yourself from being quiet, then that person can suffer the consequences of their choices. Thus saith Yahuwah of hosts. This is Zechariah 8 and 9. Let your hands be strong, you that hear in these days by the words of the mouth of the prophet, which were in the day that the foundation of the house of Yahuwah of hosts was laid, that the temple might be built. Now, we're going to look at this here, and we'll pair it up with a little stuff out of Purim, especially the dealing with strive with those who strive against me and fight against those who fight against me, because that's what happened during the time of Purim with Esther, Mordecai, and of course, you know, Haman and the whole kingdom of Darius, Xerxes, whatever you want to call it. Do y'all recall what the problem was during the time of Esther that the Yahudim ran into? It was two key components of why they had a problem. Who knows what those things were? Anybody know what those two things were that they ran into why they had a problem during the time of Esther?
The major problem was the decree that Haman had got passed to get them persecuted.
But what led to the decree?
Mordecai not out.
That was one of them. And there's another component. There was one other thing. Mordecai not bowing, and there was another thing that Haman mentioned in order to get that decree of why they had a problem. Them having their own laws. Y'all recall that? You need to look at Michael. You know what we talking about? Oh, that's unfortunate for you. We'll let Michael decide. Should we read it for Michael because she don't know? I'm talking about Miss Michael. Should we go find the verse that she doesn't know? You're a very compassionate young man. Come over here to the book of Esther. I think it's chapter 3, I believe. Oh, no, not on that one, Mother Sharon. It wasn't taxes during the time of Esther. It was mainly because Mordecai didn't bow down. And then Haman threw something else in the mix to go along with it, to justify taking all other Yahudim out. Esther chapter 3, verse 1. Hey, cut it out. You. Stop it. Matter of fact, go over there with your mom. Go on, Buck. Go over there with your mom. I ain't tell you to go nowhere, son. I told her to go with her mom. Because you going to get her in trouble. What? Yeah, you. You can fold your arms up, look ugly, pout all you want. I'm unconcerned. Esther chapter 3, verse 1. After these things did King Xerxes promote Haman, the son of Hammedatha, the Agagite, and advanced him and set his seat above all the princes that were with him. All the king's servants that were in the king's gate bowed and reverenced Haman, for the king had so commanded concerning him. But Mordecai bowed not, nor did him reverence. Then the king's servants, which were in the king's gate, said unto Mordecai, why transgress you the king's commandment? Which, of course, y'all know, leads us to something later on down the line. And what is that leads us to later on down the line, what Mordecai has just done? What example has he set that we should follow in these latter days? Do not bow down to the beast. Who down there on the floor raising their hand? That was your hand. Oh, you all right? No, I'm talking about is you all right? Because if your hand like this, you sitting down, you laying down, you dizzy. You're partaking in the motherly duties. Now it came to pass when they spake daily unto him, and he hearkened unto them, and they told Haman to see whether Mordecai's matters would stand. He told them that he was a Yahudim. So why would that be important that he told him that he was a Yahudim? Do y'all understand the importance of such a statement?
I'm saying they live by a different set of rules and laws and statutes.
That, and then also you have to understand this component just from a historical and a totality aspect. Did Xerxes have rule over more than one kingdom and more than one people? So of course, people who were in power, if you proclaim who you were, they would know what God you follow, what manner of life you had, all of that. He would understand all of that. So when Mordecai let him know, boy, I'm a Yahudim, he already know, oh yeah, they don't fool with us. You know what I'm talking about? We don't fool with them niggas. And of course, Haman is about to elucidate on that matter. And Haman saw that Mordecai bowed not, nor did him reverence. Then Haman was full of wrath. He thought scorn to lay hands on Mordecai alone, for he had showed him the people of Mordecai. Wherefore Haman sought to destroy all the Yahudim that were throughout the whole kingdom of Xerxes, even the people of Mordecai. In the first month, that is the month Nisan, in the 12th year King Xerxes, they cast pure, that is lie, before Haman from day to day, from month to month, to the 12th month, that is the month Adar. Haman said unto King Xerxes, there's a certain people scattered abroad, dispersed among the people in all the provinces of your kingdom. The laws are diverse from all people. Hey, now y'all come over here so I can slap the taste out your mouth since you want to play. 1, 2, and 3. Come on. That's what you want? That's clearly what you want. No, I wouldn't call it for you, son. You go on here. I was pointing out that you were playing with Madeline. You were going to get Madeline in trouble. Eugene and Bird. They don't know. I saw you. I'm sitting here looking at you. You're right in my line of sight. That's why I told y'all to come sit over here.
Get up.
I see Malika and Mordecai are behaving themselves properly. But you two seem not to want to do so. Do you believe that you should be slapped this day? I asked you a question, sir. What? I need you to speak loudly as you were doing over there when you were participating in your revelry. Why should you be spared? So now you're going to sit here and call me a liar to my face when I was sitting here watching you in tandem with Eugene pointing at Madeline as if this was some type of sideshow. So were you not doing that? So what were you doing? Were you just listening? So what were you and Eugene doing?
You were trying to play with me.
Was it? Y'all were trying to play with the baby. I just watched it.
I was trying.
Go sit down. Why you playing with that baby? Because you're rude. That's cuz. Go sit down.
Just try to sit right here.
Your daddy called for you.
Sit down right here and be quiet. And go to sleep later.
Esther chapter 3, verse 8. And Haman said unto King Xerxes, there's a certain people scattered abroad and dispersed among all the people in the provinces of your kingdom. The laws are diverse from all people, neither keep they the king's laws. Therefore, it is not for the king's profit to suffer them. He says, no gain for the king to allow you to continue. Now, what we're looking at in Psalms 35, what you're going to see in Zechariah 5, what you're seeing in Esther, is Yahuwah standing on your behalf to fight against those who fight against you. You understand? It's the same way. It's also another component even underneath that. See, I had a conversation with a brother. He shamed himself, in my personal opinion. Matter of fact, since it came to my mind, I'm going to read you the verse. And I want y'all to tell me what you hear and how you would explain it. Come to Isaiah 49. I'm just going to show you a quick example, because the underlying message that I'm mentioning in the fourth, fight against those who fight against you. Death fights against you. Yes or no? What would you say? How does the text describe death in relation to man? Does it not describe it as the last enemy that should be destroyed as death? So if death is an enemy, what would death be doing to you? Would it not be fighting against you? So then therefore he sent his son in the personification of sinful flesh to fight against him who fight against you. You know what I'm talking about? But I'm going to just go ahead and share you with this passage real quick, like, and I want y'all to show me where forth your preceptability is at. I think it's verse 16. Let me make sure. I'm sorry, it's verse 1. My apologies. I'm going to read it out loud. Anybody in the chat can also render forth their understanding. I'll give you a minute or two, and then we'll proceed. Listen, O isles. Let me ask y'all this here. Who is the isles? Do y'all know who the isles is when he say listen to whole isles? I need some confirmation. Huh? Which people? Specific people. That's the Gentiles. When you go look at Genesis 10, what they call it, the table of the nations, when you get to the Gentiles, I think. Oh, no, I got it. No, that's what I'm referencing where you can find it. If I'm not mistaken, in Genesis 10, it mentioned isles. So anytime you see listen, O isles or isles, it's referring to Gentiles, specifically the sons of Japheth. Just so y'all, if you didn't know that, if you weren't aware of that. So when you see that, you know exactly who he's talking to. Listen, O isles, unto me, and hearken, you people from far. You who have called me from the womb, from the bowels of my mother, have he made mention of my name. He have made my mouth like a sharp sword. In the shadow of his hand have he hid me, and made me a polished shaft. In his quiver have he hid me, and said unto me, you are my servant, O Yasharal, in whom I will be esteemed. Shalom, man. Y'all can tell me verses 1 to 3. You tell me what you get. You got 2 minutes. You ain't got to throw it out there. I give you a good 2 minutes. We had 31:41, so at about 33:41, you can proceed. Just take your time, look it over. Tell me what you got. King, that's not the best place for you to be sitting in front of that stove, son. I don't think sitting in front of the sink is a good place for you neither. Yeah. I'm just saying because they're going to be working right there. You're going to be in the work area. Shalom, Brother Reynolds. Verses 1 through 3. You still got another minute.
That's 23, right?
So, Isaiah 49, 1, 2, and 3. You can tell me what you see. You still got about 40 more seconds. Man. Got about 40 seconds.
What Buddy said?
He was focusing on. No, I'll give y'all that after y'all, because then that's going to destroy the whole point.
I was just wondering why I see in verse 1.
Hold on, you still got 10 seconds. Get the people that they full allotment. Does anybody have anything? I'll go. Well, you said something first, and I go ahead, Darren. What do you see from verses 1, 2, and 3? You ain't got to name all 3, but you can just tell me what you see.
What I see in verse 1 remind me of Galatians 4, Jerusalem being the mother of all, and how he was made from the foundation of the world, and how the word is a two-headed sword, what you see in Revelation, in Hebrews, they cut from the bones of the marrow, and how he was hid in the quiver, and something like Proverbs 8. And verse 3, he was the beauty of Yasharal.
Any other you gentlemen? Any of you brothers on the screen want to answer in the chat? Now, of course, I told him. I said, there's a testimony of the Lord there, brother. Do you see it? How you read it? Could be. He said, it's talking about Israel. That's what it says. Obedience is better than sacrifice. I had no idea what that was supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? Anybody else? Well, let me go ahead and give it to you how it need to be given. First and foremost, pause, hold your Isaiah 49. Come over here to Matthew chapter 1. You get a 2-for-1 special. You know what I'm saying? I thought Lil Muffin would remember this one here. I taught you that a long time ago.
Send me Bible. Send me Bible.
You probably forgot. It's been a long time.
Send me your butt. Sit on your butt.
No, I asked everybody. Well, what you got to answer? Joseph. Hey, Joseph, if you knock my table over, I'm going to knock you over. Matthew 1:18. Now the birth of Yahushua HaMashiach was on the wise when his mother Mary was espoused to Joseph. Before they came together, she was found with child with the Ruach HaKodesh. Then Joseph, her husband, being just and not willing to make her a public example, was minded to put her away privily. But while he thought on these things, behold, the Malachim of Yahuwah appeared unto him in a dream, saying, Joseph, you son of David, fear not to take unto you Mary your wife, for that which conceived in her is of the Ruach HaKodesh. And she shall bring forth a son, and shall call his name Yahushua, for he shall save his people from their sins. So what have you seen here? Yahuwah have called me from the womb and from the bowels of my mother. He has made mention of my name. So what he didn't even sit back and understand is you mentioned that Galatians. Come on over here to Galatians chapter 4. We get to you in a different manner. See, he got to sit back. It has to be something to line up with that one there. Why would the angel be telling this woman this man's name and from the womb? He done already made mention of it. This has been known. But they don't want to hear it. I said, that's the problem. You niggas want to make everything. He said Israel is firstborn. You really believe that, nigga? The firstborn of whom, boy? The firstborn son was Adam, boy. Wasn't no Israel around there. Jacob ain't even the firstborn son, boy. That man was the second son. That man was the second son. Hold on, let me give you the verse like this. You know how them boy be? Go to Exodus chapter 4. You know how them boy be, man. Them boy like they said, we Israel. I said, that's what's wrong with you niggas. You niggas unskilled. You're inept. Woefully inept was my exact verbiage. You know what I'm talking about?
I watched that. Let's do the preview after this. I ain't gonna come on that.
He probably will come with it. That junk gonna be trash too. But hey, that's his business. I ain't mad at him. I ain't gonna comment on it because I ain't gonna be going through all that with you. I know you're stupid when it comes to that matter. But that's okay. The Lord might love you. What y'all over there laughing and playing for? Come on over here, boy. Separate yourself. Come on over here. See, y'all think I'm gonna be paying attention. I hear well. Sit with your father. You know why I hear well? Because I was in places that it would cost me my life if I didn't listen. Yeah. And y'all play too much and you think nobody don't catch it because ain't nobody said nothing to you. You're rude and you're disrespectful. It's unacceptable. We don't like it. You need to cease. 4:19, Exodus chapter 4. Yahuwah said unto Moses in Midian, go return unto Mizraim, for all the men are dead which sought your life. Moses took his wife and his sons and set them upon an ass, and he returned to the land of Mizraim. Moses took the rod of Elohim in his hand. Yahuwah said unto Moses, when you go and return into Mizraim and you do all those wonders before Pharaoh, which I put in your hand, but I will harden his heart that he shall not let the people go. See, pause. I'm going to tell you this here. When you deal with Pilate and Yahushua, y'all know what role Pilate played in relation to this? In relation to the verse that I just read, Pilate played the role of Moses by pleading with the scribes and Pharisees to let the people go, and the people's hearts was hardened that they would not let him go. Did he not say, what has he done? He said, I'll let go of Yahushua, man. We'll keep Barabbas. They say, no. We got to kill that nigga right there. You know what I'm talking about? Is that not what happened? Was their hearts not hardened for the explicit purpose? See, that's why I was trying to tell. This is what I told the brother, man. I said, this is why you niggas going to hell. I said, you niggas want to teach the word, but you niggas trash. Because you supposed to be able to show me the end from the beginning and the beginning from the end. I'm like, brother, if you skilled, you supposed to go through Matthew, the Revelation, and show me the beginning. Without actually going to Genesis and Malachi. You supposed to show me the beginning. And you supposed to be able to go in Genesis and Malachi, and you supposed to show me the end. And you niggas can't do that. So why in the hell would I listen to you? You know what I'm talking about? Then on top of that, this particular gentleman states all the time how he wrestles with emotions and feminine energy. I'm damn sure not listening to you on nothing on the word of you. Not when you say you fight with that. I'm not listening to a man who fights with feminine energy. That's not you. But do y'all see that in this particular passage that this is leading to what Pilate did to it's just flip. See, the first time it was the righteous man pleading for the people, and it was the wicked whose hearts was hardened. And this time, Pilate got to play the role of the righteous because he said, I washed my hands of this, I'm innocent. I ain't got nothing to do with this. But see, a lot of brews, that's too much for him. See, you spirit, no, nigga, this just ain't for you. See, keep on smoking that bad, hey, bro, just keep on smoking that bad dope you like to smoke. Keep on serving that bad work you like to serve. And we're going to keep on pumping this high octane, pure 100% Colombian cocaine. George, I can't feel my face. You understand? It's the same way. What did we look at last week in the law when it came to Moses? Remember we looked at that what? The Red Sea is symbolic of what? The valley of decision. Because what does that valley of decision mean? It's the valley of judgment. There's a court case that's going to be decided here. You know what I'm talking about? I agree with you, Brother Shaul. I can't dispute it. I can't dispute that assessment in the least bit. Let me get this verse 22 so we can move on. And you shall say unto Pharaoh, thus saith Yahuwah, Yasharal is my firstborn, and I say unto you, let my son go that he may serve me. And if you refuse to let him go, behold, I will slay your son, even your firstborn. Now tell me what verses 22 and 23, when you hear that in relation to the gospel of Elohim, you know what I'm talking about? What do you get from that? What can you take from that? Transport your mind to Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, and tell me what you can get from 22 and 23. You shall say unto Pharaoh, thus saith Yahuwah, Yasharal is my son, even my firstborn. I say unto you, let my son go that he may serve me. And if you refuse to let him go, behold, I will slay your son, even your firstborn. Now you doing all that. You still ain't getting what you want. You embarrassing yourself. Get your hands off of that. I said get your hands off. You smiling, I ain't playing with you. Doing all that pouting. You embarrassing yourself.
I don't know that 22 is what I'm thinking about when he said, this is my son, where I'm well pleased.
Oh, no, not this one here. Not this one here. Matter of fact, truth be told, I just said it.
I was just gonna say, you know, talking about that cup, him dying, saying the people fucking.
Not even that one there. Remember, look what it say, right? He said, this is my son, my firstborn. Then it say to under Pharaoh, let my son go. And what was Pilate consistently asking them people to do? To let this man go, that he might serve him, right? And he said, if you don't do it, I'm gonna kill you and your firstborn. Is that he said your son? And what did the people stand out there and say? Let the blood be on our sons' sons. Just fulfilling the text. They just did it in the reverse. Now, see, when you look at that one there, shoot, the Lord himself said that. When he said, you say I blaspheme because I say I am the son of Elohim. Now, of course, he mentioned the past. One of y'all mentioned the past. We said, this is my beloved son who I'm well pleased. But that wasn't to the masses. You know what I'm saying? That was just to 3 apostles and the Lord being present. But when you sit back and look at it, Mashiach went in front of all them people and said, I and my father are one. They said, we going to stone you. You say, for what? He said,
I was just looking at that. That's what he exclusively told Pharaoh.
He did. He said, he told Moses to tell him, this is my firstborn. This is my son. Let him go so he can serve me. If you don't, I'm going to kill your son. You know what I'm talking about? And Pilate would turn around saying, is this not your king? Because them people understood that Mashiach was going to be what? King and also what? Son of Elohim. That was implied. They already knew that. And they didn't want to let him go. And what did they ended up doing? They ended up pronouncing the curse on themselves. Yahuwah didn't even have to do it. And you know why they ended up pronouncing that curse on themselves? Because they wanted to steal the word, every man from his neighbor. Come on back to Zechariah chapter 8. Yeah, he said, I said what I said. Because they said right that he said it. He said, no, I said what I'm sorry, we need to go back to Isaiah 49. He said, I wrote what I wrote. And you know why he had that? Because he already knew this is a proclamation of Elohim. Ain't no, I said, he is. Now, let's look at the next mention, right? He made my mouth like a sharp sword. Let's pause. Let's take a look at Hosea chapter 6. Hosea 6 and 4 is sufficient. Hosea 6 and 4. O Ephraim, what shall I do unto you? O Yehuda, what shall I do unto you? For your goodness is as the morning cloud, and as the early dew it go away. Therefore I have hewed by the prophets, I have slain them by the words of your mouth. Your judgments are as the light that go forth. For I desired mercy and not sacrifice, and the knowledge of Elohim more than burnt offerings. Wow. Now let's step back and look at this here. How does he slay them, like hew them by the prophets? Now, boom, when you hear hew them, what come to mind? Y'all know what hewed mean, right? To cut up. So what come to mind when he say he hewed them into pieces? Y'all might be thinking something different than I'm thinking, and that is okay. You thinking of Daniel 4. I wasn't thinking of Daniel 4, but I understand. Now, of course, y'all know, what does it say in Hebrews 4 and 12? The word is what? Sharper than a two-edged sword, dividing asunder to the joints and marrow. You know from Ephesians 6, it tell you what is the sword of the Ruach? But the word. You understand? Now, what can't cross my mind is what happened with Samuel and good old who? Oh, you don't know what happened with Samuel? What happened with Samuel? Who did he heal? I don't have any moments to give. Oh, you know? Oh. I got candy to give. I ain't got the moments to give. Oh, y'all don't know who Samuel hewed?
Saul, when he did that sacrifice?
He ain't hew Saul. Saul got killed by some Philistines.
I thought he was cut. Right? You said cut, bro.
Hewed. Samuel hewed a man into pieces. This is an unfortunate endeavor. Brother Reynolds, yeah, the Amalekite. Agag, you forgot it? He say, whoo, surely my time is past. You know what I'm talking about? And that's an example of the two-edged sword dividing asunder, things of this nature. But what is the point of this here, right? Yahushua came and he spoke according to the law and the prophets, right? And he hewed them people into pieces. Because every time he spoke, what did it say? They were pricked in their heart. They were cut. They were angry. He hewed them into pieces. That's why his mouth is sharper than a two-edged sword. Because see, swords cut on what? Both sides. Also, he can cut and he can also do what? Are y'all not familiar with the passage? That he wounds and he heals? Let's return back to Isaiah 49. And then, of course, the last part, you are my servant, O Yasharal. Yes, sir, indeed. In whom I will be esteemed. And that's John 17. I will esteem me with the esteem I had with you before the world was. Because see, I asked the brother this one simple question. I say, brother, the whole book about the Lord. I say, why would this man write a book to testify of a gainsaying, rebellious people who has been unfaithful from the minute that he knew him? Why would he do that? What benefit is in that? That brother say, yeah, it don't say that. I say, man, the whole book, he say that in the Brit Hadasha, but not in the Tanakh. I say, yeah, you clearly don't read well, brother. Now, besides Psalm 40, where's the other place that it lays mentioned that the whole entire text is written of him? Besides Psalms 40 and 8. No, I'm talking about in Genesis and Malachi.
I want to say
on the books, people like
No. You have Psalm 40 and 8 say, lo, it's written of me. I come in the volume of the book. But there's another place that makes mention of that. Someone being bearing witness of. Now you do have Hosea 12 when he say, I've spoken by the similitudes of the prophets. But that was another point what I made mention of dudes being woefully inept. Because if you were skilled, you wouldn't say, oh, it's only in the New Testament, but not in the Old. No, it's in Job. My witness is in heaven, and my record is on high. That Job 16 and 19. That go along when he say, my Father bear witness of me. And guess what you need to be able to bear witness? You need 2 witnesses. That's what people don't understand. You need 2 witnesses. Dudes study the word day in and day out and still dumb as a box of rocks. Ain't got no more spiritual intelligence as this young man right here, or that young man right there, or this young man right here. And it's not because they're devoid of it, it's because they're babies. Let's come back to Zechariah chapter 5. Let's continue. I mean, Zechariah 8. I'm sorry. Who being hard-headed? Is it Joy? Is it Mother? Is it Saints? Is it Lizzie? Oh, it's not. Well, who is it? Oh, you pointing them out, huh? Lizzie said, I'm pointing them out. Yeah, I'm going to watch your butt. That's what I'm going to do. Yeah, what you got to say now? Huh? What you got to say now? You ain't talking too much now, are you? Yeah. Zechariah 8 and 9. Thus saith Yahuwah of hosts, let your hands be strong, you that hear in these days words by the mouth of the prophets, which were in the day that the foundation of the house of Yahuwah of hosts was laid and the temple might be built. For before these days there was no hire for man, nor any hire for beast. Neither was there any peace to him that went out or came in because of the affliction. For I set all men, every one against his neighbor. Look at that. No hire for man or beast. No payment. What do y'all think that means? It say no payment, no hire. And nobody had peace that went out or came in. And that's what the Lord said. You come in, I lead you in, I lead you out. Set every man against his neighbor. Everyone is against themselves. Let's continue. But now will I not be unto the residue of this people as in the former days, saith Yahuwah of hosts. For this seed shall be prosperous. The vine shall give her fruit. That's John 15. And the ground shall give her increase. That's the resurrection of the dead. And the heavens shall give their due. That's the Ruach HaKodesh. And I will cause the remnant of this people to possess all these. So those who are the remnant who are born will not only give fruit of the vine, that fruit being what? The fruits of the Ruach HaKodesh, your joy, your peace, your long-suffering, your gentleness, your goodness, your self-control, your meekness, and all of those things. But you also will resurrect from the dead, and you will also receive the Ruach HaKodesh as stated in Jeremiah 31, when he said, I'll make a new covenant, but not like the covenant that I made with your fathers when I brought them out of the land of Mizraim. And it shall come to pass that as you were a curse among the heathen, O house of Yehuda and house of Yasharal, so will I save you, and you shall be a blessing. Fear not, let your hands be strong. For thus saith Yahuwah of hosts, as I thought to punish you, when your fathers provoked me to wrath, saith Yahuwah of hosts, and I repented not. So again, if I thought in these days to do well unto Jerusalem and to the house of Yehuda, fear you not. These things are the things that you shall do. Speak you every man the truth to his neighbor. See, when you tell lies, you're stealing words from your neighbor. See, a lot of these dudes, when they out here and they call themselves manifesting scriptures and teaching and edifying people, they stealing words, every man from his neighbor. Go back to that verse we referenced in Matthew 23. They shut up the kingdom of heaven unto men because they not seek to enter in, and they're hindering other people to get in. Execute the judgment of truth and peace in your gates, and let none of you imagine evil in your hearts against your neighbor. And look what he said. Love no what? False oath. For all these things, for all these that I hate, saith Yahuwah. That man say he hate a false oath. He say he hate a man who tell lies to his neighbor. Let's come back to Zechariah 5, if you would. Now, when he said like enter into the house of the thief, now we can come over here to John chapter 8, and it'll come why I asked Lil Mike why I asked him what I asked him. I told you we were going to take a different track. Not in the regards of focusing on the devil, but looking at it like this here. John chapter 8, verse 39. Sit down and be still, bud. Because you're not going to beat that glass. That glass going to beat you. You just hit your head. John 8:39. And they answered and said unto him, Abraham is our father. Yahushua said unto him, if you were Abraham's sons, you would do the works of Abraham. When you see that passage, what would you tell somebody to say, hey, man, this is what the works of Abraham are? What passages would you use? You say Genesis 15? I would use that also. What other passages would you use?
When it said,
The sacrifice, I would use that also. What else would you use?
oh, you talking about Old Testament?
Yeah. I'm talking about, he said, if you do Abraham's seed, you'll do the works of Abraham. So we can only go back and look at what Abraham did to be able to answer that question.
I was talking about he called him his friend. That's it.
That's in Isaiah. You can look at that. You can use that also. And also your Genesis 18, where he said, I know him. He's going to teach his household justice and judge. But more specifically, his actual works. You can look at, this is what he did. If you were son of Abraham, this is what you should be doing. He heard a word. He believed. He was willing to offer his son knowing that Yahuwah would fulfill his promise. You know what I'm talking about? Yes, sir, Brother Brennan. See, it's a lot of people. They ain't the Abraham seed because they ain't going to do his work. Another work of Abraham, he said, get you up from what? Amongst your people and do what? Go where I tell you to go. A lot of people ain't going to do that. Well, Yahuwah could tell some people to go cross the street and they ain't going to go. He ain't going to tell them to go to another spot. He going to just say, then walk across the street for me real quick. And a lot of them going to be like, I don't know about that. I can't seem to pull that off. It's like I told a brother this one here too. I said, while you brothers around here pumping that law, I said, we got a little bit of understanding because we know he kept the law, but not with a what? So I say, yeah, boy, when your faith get tried, boy, you going to slide. You know what I'm talking about? Then you're going to be wondering, why we're keeping it? You're going to hell, nigga. You know what I'm talking about? And you ain't telling these boys that. And I say, and by no means are we diminishing or negating the law, by no means. You know what I'm talking about? Because the judge live by their faith, understand? We got all of that one there, but you ain't justified, boy, because you think keeping some Sabbath day, talking about you don't need to have no pork, brother, wasting your time talking about that means something. When that nigga get tested, that nigga gonna fall. You know what I'm talking about? And y'all boys ain't ready for that. That's why you seen a war over there and you around here scared. You know what I'm talking about? Yes, sir, Brother Brennan. You're around here scared. That don't belong to you because you don't know who Oliver Greed is. He ain't nobody to know. You want to see him? There you go. You looking at it. You know what I'm talking about? I see these crackers ain't respond. That just made me think these crackers ain't respond. I might call these crackers. Them crackers got to give me my money.
That's sweet too. What's it up?
You can't do nothing with it right now, shoot. It's finna be hot. That don't work well in the heat. Unless you're gonna be in a climate controlled area. You know what I'm talking about?
Still snowing in Carolina.
It's cold up there.
I was just funny, but I know it's still cool.
Still cold.
Still what it's snowing.
That ain't the case around these parts.
Take all the blame.
You know what I'm saying? Think about that though for a moment. It's a lot of people, man. Remember what Yahushua told you? He said, man, come over here to what that is, Luke 12, man. Come on the back end of Luke 12, man, on the house, man.
Appreciate that, sir.
Luke 12 and 4. I can't disagree with you there. Brother say a lot of people got a lot of mouth and no sanctioned action of Yahuwah. But I believe personally, a lot of them don't have any action of Yahuwah because they're not taught the manifestation of faith. So what action could they really have? You know what I'm saying? It's just we Israel, and we need to keep these law, statutes, and commandments. That's why your man can be posting all day about we coming back, we going to be protected because we getting the ancient path, keeping the Sabbath, and you thinking you doing something. Whole time you don't know it's Yahuwah letting you believe that delusion. He letting you think that that's what it is. That's why niggas post about old flat earth all day, every day. Yahuwah letting you believe that that's what this is about, so you can die. And anybody who roll with you so they can die with you. You know what I'm talking about? That's what I ain't saying that to belittle or be funny. I'm talking about That's just being dead honest with you, man. You gotta sit back and look at that. If you really think Yahuwah was with a man, you think that's what he gonna have you talking about all day, every day?
Would that be that?
It ain't even that one there. It'll be more so, it could be a multitude of things of what that person got going on. But at the end of the day, Yahuwah don't even got to have no reason.
What would be that person
A what?
dead work?
Dead work, meaning you going to hell no matter what you did. Shit, you were doing this for nothing.
My friend, that would be the.
Yeah, you doing this for nothing. But dead work, scripture-wise, according to First Hebrew chapter 9, oh, that's around here, you know what I'm saying? Like your man like they used to do. Stroke and poke. You know what I'm talking about? Tell a lie, worship a God. Them dead works. Them works ain't going to get you no life. This one here is a dead work, but they don't know it's a dead work. We've done many wonderful things in your name. But your labor is in vain because it's not according to the faith. But I ain't even dealing with that. I'm in with he letting you think that you doing something. And that this is something that he genuinely wants everybody to know. One thing for certain, two things for sure. Boy, if that man teaching you, boy, your palate is going to be very diverse. You know what I'm talking about? It's going to be very diverse. You ain't going to be sitting here pushing. You brothers need to learn when the true Sabbath is. Man, you would have hit that and moved on. If the earth was flat, you would have hit that and moved on.
And then when a nigga bring up anything other than that,
I don't care nothing about that.
you try to make it seem like
Why people do that is that's to justify in your own mind that you doing the will of Yahuwah that what Yahuwah care about. And he just sitting back looking at, boy, I don't know that boy. I don't even know why he doing that. You know what I'm talking about? Yes, he does. He does intend to damn a lot of people. And that is a harsh reality that many people don't want to accept. That is more people going than more people staying. You know what I'm talking about? Because he don't fool with a lot of these dudes, man. You sitting around here talking like, well, you can have 4 or 5 wives. You really think all the things that Yahuwah want a man to know. Yahushua himself say, it's your father's good pleasure to give you the kingdom. That's his good pleasure. And you think he wants you around here talking about how many wives you can get. You need to move off of, you need to escape Babylon by moving in the woods in Babylon. You doing the will of God when you do that. Nigga, you supposed to look at this nigga. This is a bona fide jackass if I've ever seen one. This man has the same level of intelligence of a fire ant. To tell me that I'm fleeing from a place while staying in the place and paying taxes on the land in the place where I moved. And you want me to look at this person as a vanguard of righteousness whom I ought to model myself after, that Yahuwah has gave him a word that will surely set the people free. I will not, and I'll look that nigga in his face and tell him, boy, you's a dumb nigga. And I got booked for it. All these niggas might be New Jack swinging on your nuts, you know what I'm talking about, sucking on your teeth. I ain't one of them because I don't respect none of that. What you talking about? Nigga, that junk trash. It's trash. A lot of dudes don't got a heart to say it because niggas want to be down and niggas want to be popular. See, this ain't junk no different than in high school when you go to dealing with these dudes. These dudes want to be popular. Oh, you can't say that. That brother been in the truth for 15 years. I wouldn't give a damn. You think the Lord walked around here? Oh, I ain't going to say nothing about that brother because, you know, he been a Pharisee for 22 years. That boy been high priest. That man didn't care about none of that. Boy, you lying and you don't know what you talking about. You know what I'm talking about? Straight up and down. That's what he did. Boy, you lying and you don't know what you talking about. Them people came up there and sized this man talking about whose wife she gonna be. That man said, you don't know what you talking about. You're wrong. You don't know the text. Shut your mouth. You know what I'm talking about?
See that shit? All right.
Is that not what he said? I ain't pulling nothing. If you don't know where it's at, that's an unfortunate circumstance for you. That man say you do err. His exact words is, nigga, you wrong. And you don't know what you're talking about. And you don't know the power of Elohim. Shut your mouth. And guess what the people did? Sat there looking stupid. You know what I'm talking about? Why would he say such a thing? Man, I'm going to kill that nigga when I get a chance. I hate this nigga. That's what they were doing. That's what they were feeling in their insides. Because they knew this man knew what he was talking about. See, these dudes want to debate and they want to argue our precept, like I told you about the other day. Why would I be nice in a battle? Get your whole behind out of here, nigga. Because when it come down for you to up some fire, nigga, you gonna run. If you looking for a battle on the internet with a Bible, I know when bullets fly, you run. You know what I'm talking about? Because what type of grown man get up in his day and say, you know what to be the highlight of my day? I'm going to cut a nigga with these scripts on the internet. Nigga, you need a job and a woman. Because you need something to occupy your time. Because that's sad. And most of us know it's many niggas around here wake up and their whole life purpose is to battle a nigga on the internet. About the word. Not raise your son. Not build yourself as a man. Not get you some money. I'm going to cut me a nigga today. Boy, you seen them scripts I cut that nigga with? What? Well, cut them niggas on. Man, go look at the thread. Boy, 2022 niggas still on that, man. You know the fact? They stopped doing it on Facebook. You know where they took it to? Y'all know where they took it to, man? Now, they ain't taking it to TikTok. I'm finna show you where they took it to. This is where they took it to. They took it to damn Clubhouse. This is where they took it to. You know what I'm talking about? That's where they took it to. Them boys be on here. I'm talking about replays and all. Going at it. I mean, all type of people on Clubhouse. See, it was a thing when it first dropped, and then it went away because there were people on there talking business. You know, you can get in the Clubhouse room; they talking everything. It used to be iPhone exclusive. I agree with you, Shaul. I agree with you. Luke 12:4. I agree with you, brother. Amen. Mordecai, don't let that little girl get you in trouble. Don't do it. Focus on the task at hand. Luke 12:4. I say unto you, my friends, be not afraid of them that kill the body, and after that they have no more they can do. But I will forewarn you whom you shall fear. Fear him which after he have killed have power to cast into hell. Yea, I say unto you, fear him. Let's look at hell in this Greek. Because you know a lot of rules be like, ain't no such thing as hell. See, we living in hell with this oppression. Get your ignorant behind out of here, you stupid bastard Jew. Oh, that's a One West teaching, more specifically. They real big on pushing that. You know? A lot of brothers be like, hell ain't even in the Bible. I'm like, you sure about that? That's how you can tell dude don't read for real. Now, when you deal with hell, it's Gehenna in the Greek, and y'all know what it is. It's Gehenna of fire. This was originally the valley of Hinnom, south of of Jerusalem, where the filth and dead animals of the city were cast out and burned. Ain't that something that the Greeks knew what it was when they wrote it? Valley of Hinnom. Guess what? We know from understanding the Old Testament where it's at. Valley of Hinnom. You know where we can read this at? We can read it in Isaiah 33. We can read it in Ezekiel 20. We can read it in Isaiah 66. We already know where it's at. That means say I'm a kindle of fire that can't be put out. And they going to know Yahuwah did it. Let's look at it for those who don't know. Ezekiel 20 and 44. Maybe 40. You looking like that disturbed. No, I'm just messing with you. I think that's true. No, I'm just messing with you. You really look like you was in thought.
I don't want to know about it. I don't want nothing to do with it.
Make it 45. We don't need 40. 20 and 45. And look at what this book here just classifies it as the prophecy against the south. Because again, the valley of Hinnom is south of Jerusalem. Moreover, the word of Yahuwah came unto me, saying, Son of man, set your face towards the south, drop towards the south, prophecy against the forest of the south field, and say to the forest of the south, hear the word of Yahuwah. Thus saith Yahuwah Elohim, behold, I will kindle a fire in you. It shall devour every green tree in you, and every dry tree. The flaming flame shall not be quenched. All places from the south to the north shall be burned therein. All flesh shall see that I, Yahuwah, have kindled it, and it shall not be quenched. And then said I, Yahuwah Elohim, they say of me, do he not speak in parables? What is a parable? But an ethical thing that has to be sought out and arranged. And this man would let them know. Same thing he told you. He said, if your eye offends you, pluck it out, lest you be cast in the lake where the worm dies not, and the fire shall not be quenched. And guess what? Ezekiel coming telling you that there's going to be a flame that's not going to be put out. This man sitting here telling you, you need to fear him that after he kill you, he going to toss you in the valley of Hinnom. That's what I mean by these dudes are woefully inept. You know what I'm talking about? Woefully inept. Come on back here, man. Luke chapter 12. I ain't saying that to be disrespectful. I'm saying that because that's a fact. I've been doing this for a long time. And boy, a lot of these dudes is trash. And you know why a lot of them trash? Because their intentions ain't right. Their intentions is not to deliver to people. See, you ain't trash because your skill level ain't here or here or here. You trash because you don't care about the people you serve. Your heart ain't right. You know what I'm saying? Because get what? You can have a small amount of skill, but if you care about these people's soul, that's just as equivalent as somebody with a large amount of skill, because you're going to get them the information that they need to deliver themselves from death. You know what I'm talking about? You're bringing a solution to a grave and despair problem that all of us face, which is damnation. And not damnation because necessarily you just so evil, but because you in this flesh and you must be born again. It is vital. It is imperative. It must go down. Because if you don't, what did the man say? If you ain't born by the ruach in the water, you can't enter in the gate. And why is he telling you that? Because flesh and blood can't enter into the kingdom. A man can't enter into that kingdom. Why can't that man enter in? Because Yahuwah is there. So if the Father is there, guess what's going to happen if flesh and blood enter unto him? They must be consumed because his eyes are too pure to look upon evil, and the flesh is evil in and of itself, which is why he did not allow them to eat from the tree of life, because then they would have been before his face as evil, being disobedient. I cannot allow you to stand before my sight. That's also how you know that was Yahusha and not the Father, because if that was the Father, Adam and Eve would have died on the spot. You know what I'm talking about? They'd have died on the spot. They couldn't, because Yahuwah walked in the garden and covered them. If that was the Father, they'd have died on the spot. But see, them boys ain't swift enough on the draw to pick up on things of that nature. You know what I'm saying? He covering your sins. What he was born to do. Showing you who he was from the jump. That wasn't the Father, because they would have died. You know what I'm talking about? Father can't be in the midst of no sins. Nothing gonna be able. He's a consuming fire. Everything in the midst must be destroyed. That's how you know it was the Son. You know what I'm talking about? That's what dude talking about. Yahuwah and Yahusha not the same. Hey, brother, that's no business. I'm not finna argue with you about that, my G. I already know what time it is. That's something that you have to understand as a man. If you know, and I told you, but homeboy told me this when I was a jit. If you know what time it is, well, have that, my G. I'm not finna, like when I told my man, I said, yeah, man, these dudes always arguing about jumping Ezekiel 46. That's how you know you're trash. When you want to lead, they're talking about keeping a new moon, keeping the Sabbath by the new moon, when new moon don't even translate to the actual moon. That's one thing. You understand? But then when you take on that, if you got to go to Ezekiel 46 to justify that, you already trash, because you should have been at the front of the book, not at the back, not in the middle. But this is the point. He said from new moon to new moon, from Shabbat to Shabbat. I'm like, bro, I don't know how these dudes miss that. That's month to month, week to week. That's what dudes say, where your scripts at? Hey, man, I'm just hollering at my mans. I'm not finna do this with you. You want to get on the internet all day and argue about Sabbath, moons, and luminaries. I'm not finna participate. I actually told him I have weightier matters to attend to. I have bigger fish to fry. I don't have time to do this with you. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes as a man, you got to look a man in the face and let him know, I don't have time to do this with you. And you know why you can do that? Because this is beneath me. See, as a man, you can't have shame and understanding that something is beneath you. That doesn't necessarily mean that, oh, I'm better than you. This is beneath my masculinity for me to stoop down to something that is not equal to who I am as a man. And you know where we get our basis from that from? Because Nehemiah said, I'm not coming down there to you, my G. I'm doing a great work. You're going to have to come up here and meet me. That is beneath me, what you talking about. You understand? Is that not what the man did? Let's look at it so you can see if that's what the man did. Luke, it's Nehemiah chapter 6. That's beneath me.
God, said,
Straight up. Straight up and down. Straight up and down. Talking about you a king. You around here arguing like a hoe with commoners, nigga. You crazy as hell. Got out of that rabbit behind mine. Man, these boys are crazy. Make sure I'm in my right position.
The fact he was a king. Only a king gonna say that.
Only a king gonna say that. Only a king gonna say that. Nehemiah 6:4. I think I'm in the right spot. If not, you will win. We'll get it. Get your hand off of that. I feel like I'm in the wrong spot, but yeah. At the same time, I feel like I'm not. Yeah, niggas feel like that hard. You know why niggas feel like that hard? Because they got bussies. That's why. You know what I'm talking about? Nigga was raised by a man with a bussy. and he passed him a bussy down. You understand? So he can't understand. That's not what men do. You know what I'm talking about? You ain't have to do all that. Sound like hope, boy. You know what I'm talking about? We know who to have compassion on and when to have it, and we know not to fool with folly. Boy, it's a lot of stuff the Lord kept on right on walking. It's a couple stuff that people kept sizing that man about. And what did it say? He stayed quiet. He said, I kept my mouth closed because you did. This man ain't sitting around here and argue. Do you not notice? Yes, babe, I see you. Hello. That man, number one, he told you don't cast your pearls before swine. Number two, he told you don't give that which is God's underdog. Number three, this man sat back, and a lot of times he ain't even entertained these boy. The only time he entertained it because you're supposed to know the verse. We done dealt with it in Proverbs before. He said, answer a fool according to his folly, lest he be wise in his own conceits. Answer not a fool according to his folly, lest you be a fool just like him. I'm not talking to this nigga. See, that's wisdom and skill, because you got to know when to keep your mouth closed and when to let him know you a jackass. And you can see that with the Lord numerous times. He knew when to be quiet and when to straighten. Not going back and forth with you. I'm a king. But what you talking about, boy, that's beneath me, boy. And guess what? Every last one of us supposed to have the mind of Mashiach, yes or no? No, that means you supposed to have the mind of a king, a mind of a ruler. So you supposed to know when that's beneath me. Not arguing with you. That's straight. You ain't lying here. Dip out while they talking and looking luring. I'm up out of here. Got no time to be fooling with y'all. Y'all on some stupidity. Case in point. This is a point of answer a fool according to his folly, lest he be wise in his own conceit. Who gave you authority to do these things? He said, I'll tell you this here if you can answer me this here. Was the baptism of John, was it a heaven or from men? That's how you answer a fool according to his folly. Yes, what may I do for you? Well, you go over here to crime while I'm selling this dope, boy, I'm going to punch your whole face off, sew it back on, and punch it off again. You want to get out my house? Then fix your face. I ain't seen you. This what you gonna do? Because I thought you was a young man. That's what you told me when you was 1. That's what you told me when you was 2. That's what you told me when you were 4. How old are you here right now? Ain't you a young man? You got a head like one. Fix your face, man. You ain't in here to play. Nobody don't care nothing about what y'all want to do. You know what I'm saying? Y'all be balling y'all face up like somebody care. I'm upset. I want to go sit over here. You sit where we tell you to sit at. Because you didn't drive over here. You don't put no food in your belly. You don't pay for nothing. You ought to be glad. Don't worry about it. The world's waiting for you.
I like that one. With open arms.
Well, open arms. Nehemiah 6:3. And I sent messages under them saying I'm doing a great work, so I cannot. Hold on, let me back it up. I knew I was in the right place. I just felt like I was overlooking something. Come on down here to make it verse 1, Nehemiah chapter 6. Now it came to pass when Sanballat, Tobiah, and Geshem the Arabian, and the rest of our enemies heard that I builded the wall, that there was no breach left therein. You know what that means? Ain't no sin left in the wall. And guess what? Y'all know what wall represent. What does wall represent? Huh? Y'all know what a wall represents? No, not a division. He said he building a great wall with no breach. What does a wall represent? Huh? It do mention safety. So what does that represent? Oh, y'all done forgot already. Maybe because you ain't been told it in a while. No. The wall represents a brother, strong defense. Ain't that what it means? Ain't no breach. Remember what Job 40 told you? Ain't no air in them scales. And wait, that's right, brother. And guess what? A brother's supposed to be a fortress in the defense. Some of y'all used to ride around playing that Set It Off beat while Pop was rapping. He told you, look at you, said, I did play. I like that song. That man saying, how can the devil do what? And that's what Job 40 told you. The devil can't get your brother if you're close to one another. That's exactly what Job 40 told you, right or wrong. Okay. Let me know. I don't think he chose it from the word, but shoot, I'm just saying that's what I get. I get the word from everything. We know Pop was around here rubbing on Buddha hoes, allegedly. Because any nigga who will get in a bathtub with gold drawers on and cock his legs open, that nigga sweet as doggone whatever you want to put there. That nigga gay. Ain't no grown man, ain't no self-respecting masculine man slaying in no bathtub with gold drawers on with his leg cocked open with the come hither look. I remember when that Vibe magazine came out, we was all looking at that like, you know what? This ain't right. You talking about? But you too young to be too discriminatory. But you know it when you see y'all seen it later. You know, we teens.
Yeah.
You flipping through the Vibe, old Pac on the cover. Matter of fact, that nigga was on the cover in that damn tub.
Nah, but that's the thing too. Just like you said, listen to his music. You want to think he didn't do it like that. So
Shoot,
I
ain't got to listen to his music. This nigga say he was a Black Panther pro-black. You around here with your leg cocked open. Boy, nigga done played with your booty hole. You ain't agree to do that on your own. Ain't no man of no self-respect agreeing to that. He gonna say, I ain't doing that. That nigga did the photo shoot. Loved it and enjoyed it. You know what I'm talking about? Straight up and down. You know how I know that? Because they played it on MTV. Back behind the scenes footage. This nigga's getting oh man, this nigga gay.
Yeah, Uncle Johnny taking the picture.
Nigga taking the picture.
Moving like this.
I'm like this.
Cock your leg up. Let me see the hair on your thigh.
Man, go ahead on, dog. That's
That's what happened.
He talking about. Let me see.
I'm just telling you what happened.
Oiled up and all.
Nehemiah 6:1. Now it came to pass when Sanballat and Tobiah and Geshem, the Arabian, and the rest of our enemies heard that I builded the wall, and there was no breach left therein. Though at that time I had not set up the doors upon the gates. Look at it. Had the wall, no door. What did Yahushua say? I am the door. If any man enter therein, see Nehemiah showing you I'm a builder, but I can't finish the work. Then Sanballat and Geshem came unto me, saying, come, let us meet them together in the villages in the plain of Ono, but they thought to do me mischief. And I said unto the messengers unto them, saying, I am doing a great work, so that I cannot come down. Why should the work cease while I leave it and come down to you? Boy, what you talking about, boy, that's beneath me, boy. As a man, you supposed to be doing a great work. I ain't got no time to be coming down here fooling with you. This is beneath me. You know, if he would have been like how some of these boys is in quote unquote 2022, he would have stopped the great work, came from off the wall just to go down there and deal with these boys, knowing that they trying to do mischief. He said they thought to do me mischief, so he know they with some rallies. I ain't fooling with this nigga. For what?
In the name of they doing that to prove you who are with them.
And guess what? You know what that mean when you doing? I gotta prove you who pussy. That's whole energy. I'm not talking about female energy. I'm talking about whole energy. You know why I say whole energy? Because hoes like to always be in some stuff. You know what I'm saying? They like to always be in some type of salacious, drama-filled endeavor. You know what I'm saying? That's whole energy. Women don't like that because it's stressful for them. They don't really know how to deal with it. You know what I'm talking about? They'd rather leave that alone. Hoes love it. Hoes love drama. They feed off of it. You know what I'm talking about? Verse 5, then Sanballat sent his servant unto me in the like manner the fifth time with an open letter in his hand. Then it came to this man 5 times with this folly. And guess the one thing he never did? Came down there to him. This is beneath me. I will not. When it was written, it was reported among the heathen, and Gashmu say, you and the Yahudim think to rebel, for which cause you build the wall, that you may be their king, according to these words. And you also have appointed prophets to preach of you at Jerusalem, saying, Amalek and Yehuda. Now it shall be reported to the king according to these words. Come now, therefore, and let us take counsel together. Then I said unto him, saying, there are no such things done as you say. You feign them out of your own heart. You're lying. You're lying, just like they did to the Lord. You say you a king. He said, you say it. Ain't that what he told him? You sending these people to preach in your name. These boys sour out here, man. Come on back over here to Luke chapter 12, man. Let you who will be esteemed. Don't pay me no mind. But just know, I ain't saying this because we in the safety of a room while we on tape. I'll tell these niggas this to their face.
That's right.
You know what I'm talking about? I ain't got no problem with it. I done told some of them that to their face on the blog talk. I done told it to their face on the internet, and I tell it to them face to face. You know what I'm talking about? Well, your dope is trash. You don't know what you're talking about. You're a horrible instructor. You ain't get that from the Lord. I tasted the Lord dope, and that ain't his work. You know what I'm talking about? His dope don't hit like that. Your dope hit different. Your rhymes is whack.
Same thing.
I'm pretty Tony.
That boy that fool.
He ain't lying. Gotta tell him.
Nigga said, I'm pretty Tony. He said, you pretty Tony. I'm the man. Because you know what they say? You ain't no pimp. You a rest haven for hoes. And that's all they is. They a rest haven for whores. Idol worshipers and those who like to play the whore with other gods. That's all a lot of these dudes out here teaching the word. They are rest haven for whores. Yeah. 12 and 5. Because you ain't going to replace no blind. You ain't got no job. But I forewarn you whom you shall fear. Fear him which after he have killed have power to cast into the valley of Hinnom. I say unto you, fear him. Are not 5 sparrows sold for 2 farthings, and not one of them is forgotten before Elohim? But even the very hairs of your head are all numbered. Fear not, therefore, you have more value than many sparrows. Also I say unto you, whosoever shall confess me before men, him shall the son of Adam also confess before the Malachim of Elohim. But he that deny me before men shall be denied before the Malachim of Elohim. And y'all already know, man, it's a lot of dudes going to deny the man when the rubber meets the road. They ain't going to have the heart, man. Girl, ain't nothing wrong with you. That's why you cheat. Because you know ain't nothing wrong with you. Zechariah 5 again, man. Boy's father used his body to shield his 3-year-old son. I see they finally got that doggone chick for killing her daughter. Or go ahead, she took her plea deal. That's rough to have a little girl living in the closet. Oh no, she just played out. They ain't gave her no time yet. We in Zechariah 5 and hold on, I forgot. I ain't finished John 8. That's my bad. That's my bad. I think I stopped at verse 39. I did. They answered, this is John 8 and 39. They answered and said unto him, Abraham is our father. Yahushua said unto them, if you were the sons of Abraham, if you were Abraham's sons, you should do the works of Abraham. But now you seek to kill me, a man that have told you the truth, which I heard of Elohim. This did not Abraham. You do the deeds of your father. They said they to him, we be born of fornication. We have one father, even Elohim. Yahushua said unto them, if Elohim were your father, you would love me, for I proceeded forth and came from Elohim. Neither came I myself, but he sent me. Why do you not understand my speech? Because you cannot hear my word. You are of your father, the devil, and the lust of your father you will do. He was a murderer from the beginning and abode not in the truth, because there is no truth in it. And when he speak a lie, he speak of his own, for he is a liar and the father of it. Now, why are we looking at that, right? Because he said he'll call the curse to rest in the house of a liar. 1 John chapter 3, verse 8, straight on to the point. After we go to 1 John chapter 3, verse 8, again, and straight on to the point. Dang, it was just in my brain. Y'all will. 1 John 3 and 8. He that commits sin is of the devil. For the devil sinned from the beginning. For this purpose, the son of Elohim was manifested that he might destroy the works of the devil. Praise you, because it came back to mind. Now, we're looking at this, right? If the curse is in the liar's house, anybody who rebels against the instruction is a what? He's of the devil, which would mean you a liar. So the curse got to dwell in the liar's house because it's got to dwell in your daddy's house. Because that's where you live, right or wrong. Now come look at what Matthew 25, man, and seal that up. Because we ain't looking at Satan being a liar. We're looking at if you live in a particular type of way, you would be considered a liar because you're stealing the word every man from his neighbor, because you're not teaching the word in Ruach and in truth. Therefore, the curse got to rest in your house because you a liar. That's why the text say nobody can enter into the kingdom who love and maketh a lie. See, that's what your man used to be talking about. They used to have about 3-4 people on the phone with me when they first got on that flat earth. See, nobody get in the kingdom who loveth and maketh a lie. I'm like, bro, if ain't nobody talking about the earth being flat, being around, are they loving and making a lie? So you telling people because they not, this is what these niggas used to tell me. If you ain't talking about this, then you loving and making a lie. Nigga, who gives a damn? Unless the nigga was running around here talking about the world is a globe and that was a lie, then you would be doing that. We got to destroy all the lies. So you want to destroy that lie and not the lie that you can live forever by forsaking sin. Which lie seems of greater importance? I'm telling you, these are topics of men who have no spirit. The Ruach of Elohim is not with them. They are devoid of the salvation of Yahuwah. So therefore, they're pulling us all, they're grasping at straws, hoping that they grab onto something that can show forth that Yahuwah is with me. He has forsaken you many moons ago. He has departed from your house. He knows you not. You know what I'm talking about? I'm just trying to tell you. Man, look at this ain't I done told y'all this before about every banal topic that these niggas like to go about. This is how you know Yahuwah ain't with a man. Let me tell you something, man. When Yahuwah with a man, he gonna give you an understanding, make your soul satisfied. I ain't talking about like, I'm talking about no matter where you go. I wouldn't care where you traverse at in the four corners of the earth. Don't make now a bit of difference. When the word of Yahuwah coming out of man's mouth, and that's his word, your inner man is going to rejoice. You know what I'm talking about? Not no junk on the outside. That made me smile. I'm talking about your inward man going to rejoice. But guess what that book told you in Psalm 51? Where did he say he desired wisdom at? In the inward parts. You understand? So that means that's where that man gonna rejoice at, in the inward part. See, when that junk be trash, you don't rejoice in the inward part. You just be happy like you happy when you got a gift. See, that rejoicing of the inward part might not even be visible to the naked eye of the person observing you. You understand what I'm telling you? The rejoicing in the inward man happen when you walk off and you understand when you get a level of understanding that draw you closer to Elohim. Well, that stuff these niggas, knowing if the earth flat ain't drawing you closer to you, ain't drawing you nowhere. All you're doing is drawing a circle saying, see, that ain't what the earth look like. It look like this. You're a jackass. You know what I'm saying? You're an idiot. You know what I'm talking about? But you know these boys used to go hard. See, the calamus, this what you spend your time on? You sat around all day studying this? Oh, you know you can't eat meat, turkey unclean, chicken unclean. That's what you nigga wasting your time on. That nigga right there, heart is unclean. You understand me? That boy got idols in there. That boy got maliciousness. He got spider. He got all type of stuff in him. You understand? That boy right there ain't got no manhood in it. He want to be a man. You talking to him about, you know that turkey's a vulture. That nigga looking at you like, boy, that don't help me in the least bit. You know what I'm talking about? That boy wrestling with something in his inside. He fighting against himself. He don't know how to win. And here you come telling him, brother, you know that the Sabbath started in the daytime. That boy don't care about that. That ain't doing nothing for him. You understand me? You like to say, this brother is dying on the inside. His mind is literally telling him that he is utterly worthless. He is listening to the words of the adversary saying, delete yourself. And here you come saying, brother, you know you be had you about 3-4 wives, brother. You understand? Do you understand? See, these women, they ain't supposed to have these pants on, brother. See, that pork is unclean. You understand? You don't need to be eating that, brother. See, you need to understand that the feast days are important. And that nigga like, I'm dying on the inside, bro. I don't give a damn about none of that, what you talking about. You know what I'm talking about? I don't care none of that about what you talking about. That go to show you what the man talking about. Like, man, you ain't no hired. Ain't nobody hired you to do this here, man. Ain't nobody sent you to do this here because this man wounded and you ain't got the mollifying ointment and medicine to be able to bind him up and send him on his way. You can't pour no ointment in his wound. You can't do none of that. But see, we don't want to talk about that. You know, and I told you before, you know why dudes don't want to talk about that? Because they broken. How can a broken nigga like this here, right? It's one thing you can't do, man. You can't heal no broken woman, especially if you ain't the one who did it to her. You can't do it. Ain't that what they tell you to do? You got to love her to heal it. The hell you say, that nigga might take me down. Because if she's miserable, then I might end up being miserable, trying to help her not be miserable. And guess what? She going to look at me while I'm trying to help her not be miserable. This nigga a damn fool. See, I learned this in high school. Some of the prettiest women you seen had the biggest problem, and when you came and tried to be nice to them, they thought you was a sucker because they didn't believe they were worthy of that type of treatment. So they thought something was wrong with you, that you actually treated them like a human being, and they looked at you like a simp and a sucker. I observed this. I seen it. I had women tell me out their mouth who were attractive that I don't know why people think I'm pretty. I think I'm ugly. You know what I'm saying? I think I'm this. I think I'm that. I don't know why this nigga, I'm a hoe. This is what they thinking in their brain. She think you stupid for trying to do this. So if a nigga grown and his daddy wasn't around and that had a negative effect on him, let's say his mother just was a horrible woman, because it happens more often than you think. You know what I'm talking about? That a man's mother damages his psyche. You know what I'm talking about? On a multitude of levels. Shalom, Christina. He dealing with this. He dealing with that. He dealing with this. This man destroyed on the inside. That man don't want to deal with some stuff about, boy, you got to fix yourself so you can help this man fix himself. Because then he has to expose that he ain't the man that he purporting himself to be. That's why you see most of these brews, when something happened to him in their life, they get extremely emotional and act like women. Dudes thought was really, really strong. You know what I'm talking about? This thing on here like this here. Not on some junk like, hey, man, I need some fight. This nigga's a hoe. Like, nigga, what's up with you? And it don't even be stuff that really even be that deep. Oh, man, this, you know what I'm saying, bro? Like they said, this nigga on here crying. What you crying for, nigga? I seen a grown man circumcise himself on camera. Talking about he was doing the work of the Lord. What's wrong with you, boy? You know what the sad part was? Nobody understood what the video was until, you know what I'm talking about? That just go to plan. You don't know what's going to happen. Yeah, oh, that was longer than that. I would try that, man. He'll tell you, bro. Because he said, man, he had never been circumcised. He had to be a Levite priest, high priest. He was fooling with your mans. The shoer. The house shoer. He was fooling with your mans. Shoot, he ain't seen himself in a minute. You know what I'm talking about? Shoot, the Lord let him shine, then put him on the pine. You know what I'm talking about? Way below. On the bench. Calm down, son. Matthew 25.
That boy fell off a high horse.
Boy got to be on the bench, man. 25 and 31. The boy got to be on the bench, man. Them boys out here telling lies that it ain't no good.
That's another thing about it too, boy. You know you did with him, but you never out the game.
Yeah, these boys, he'll be having short runs.
Getting subbed out. On the time.
Like this here, bam.
Come on.
He like this here. Come on, son. Come over and sit with me.
Please. Go.
The Gatorade is good on this side.
No, you don't get no Gatorade. You just sit here.
Get out.
You don't even pat. I want you to touch nothing. Yeah. Don't put your warm up on. Don't do nothing. Just sit here and look. 25 and 31, man. Book of Matthew. When the son of Adam shall come in his esteem and all the Kadash Malakim with him, then he shall sit upon the throne of his esteem. And before him shall be gathered all nations. He shall separate one from another as the shepherd divided sheep from the goats. He shall set the sheep on his right hand, but the goats on the left. Drop on down. We ain't going through all that. Pick this up at verse 40. We're going to get straight to the people who we need to talk about the curse dwell in the house of the thief. Because he that commits sin is of the devil. Remember, sin by definition is what? Rebellion. When you transgressing, you rebelling. And the king shall answer and say unto them, truly I say unto you, inasmuch as you've done it unto one of these, the least of me, my brethren, you have done it unto me. Then he shall say unto them on the left hand, depart from me, you cursed, into everlasting fire, prepared for the devil and his angels. For I was hungered, and you gave me no meat. I was thirsty, and you gave me no drink. I was a stranger, and you took me not in. Naked, and you clothed me not. Sick and in prison, and you visited me not. Then shall they also answer him, saying, Lord, when saw we you a hungered or a thirst or a stranger or naked, sick or in prison, and did not serve unto you? Then he shall answer unto them, truly I say unto you, inasmuch as you did it not on one of the least of these, you did it not unto me. These shall go in the way of the everlasting punishment, but the righteous unto life eternal. We came here because he said, you cursed. And why are they cursed? Because what are they devoid of? See, thieves are devoid of all manner of compassion and mercy and good judgment. They don't have it. And you know why they don't have it? Because they selfish. See, they only care about themselves. You know what I'm talking about? See, the only time a man is supposed to be selfish is in his house, meaning that this is my kingdom that I have reign or rule over. And my will be exerted and imposed on anyone who enters into my kingdom. This is my realm. You understand? That's how that works. Outside of that, you ain't got no business being selfish nowhere else. Now you understand that when you're talking about your kingdom, your realm, meaning this I rule over this area. My standards and rules set over this area. That's why Yahushua son of Nun can come through and say, well, as for me and my house, we're going to serve Yahuwah because I rule over this dominion, and this is how this dominion will be ruled. See, we rule it by the precepts and standards of Elohim. Then whatever personal desires that I have to execute under the auspices of Elohim, that is what's going to be done. This is not a democracy. This is not up for debate. I could care less for your intrusions or conclusions. What I desire to be done is what's going to be done. And you can either fit into that or you can fit out. That's your choice. You know what I'm talking about? That's why when people be like, oh, the Bible say women got to submit, ain't nobody got to do nothing. You know what I'm saying? That's what you have to understand. You don't have to do anything. You have choices. You may not like your choices, but choices you have. If you don't want to do something, you ain't got to do it. You know what I'm saying? And it's simple as that. A lot of people don't want to serve you, and guess what they don't do? They don't serve it, but they don't get to determine what he gets to execute when it's time for his realm to be dropped on the earth. They don't get to make that decision. Back to Zechariah chapter 5. Because what does Yahuwah make anybody do anything? No. Like your mans like to say, that's how Yahuwah feel. You know, it's my way or no way. Guess what? And no way is okay. But guess what? When you don't want to choose my way, to hell you gonna stay. That's where you're going. You're gonna dwell in him now. Gehenna, Jehoshaphat, you know what I'm talking about? Whatever you want to call it. The other names escaping me. I know something. Tophet. That's what it is. There it is. That's it. Valley of Tophet. That's where you're gonna go. And that's what he done told people too. He told you choose life or death, right? Hey, man. But guess what? If you choose this, it's going to be my way. But if you don't choose my way, you don't get to stay and you're going to pay. Because that man told you, I'm going to repay all my enemies back to their face. Everybody that hates me, you're going to pay. Always remember that. Don't get upset with people. They got a choice. Ain't nobody no slave. Everybody got a choice. You hear women say like this here, like I met a dude asked today, he talking about would you let a woman be a stay-at-home wife and then she decided in the first year of marriage she don't want no kids. I said, well, nigga, you was a damn fool for making her stay-at-home wife with no children. You know what I'm talking about? That's got to be the dumbest thing I ever heard in my life. What is you staying at home to do? Look at the walls? Spend my money? Bring the pool boy through? Nah, man, you finna get out here on this stroll, nigga, and pay what you owe. I said, that's just utterly dumb. You know what I'm talking about?
Pay what you owe.
That nigga say, what if she decide? I'm like, and dude kept saying something. I'm like, well, dang, bro, you don't dictate terms. You let the woman dictate to you what she gonna do. Or you don't tell them what you expect and what you require. You know what I'm talking about? Like, because the reason why I mention that is if you tell her what you require and you desire, and she say, I don't want to do that, well, that's just fine. That just means you're not the woman for me. That's okay. You know what I'm saying? My homegirl asked this like she talking about a dude say, I need to be needed. And I'm like, you know what? That's very, very feminine for a grown man to say, I need to be needed. Why do you need to be needed by a woman for? Why does that even enter in your brain that you need a woman to need you? I don't need you to need me because I need my damn self. You know what I'm talking about? I ain't even doing this for you anyway. You know what I'm talking about? I'm doing this for me. Because I done heard that throughout the course of my whole life. Y'all done heard that before, but they say men want to be needed. See, they try to tell you that if you don't do this here, then I'm not a provider. I don't feel need. I don't need it. No, I don't need you to do all that for what? Because I'm gonna get my money regardless. I'm gonna do what I was gonna do regardless if you were here or not. So I don't need you. Why would I need a nigga to spend my money on them? That's what they basically telling you. I need a woman to need me to give her my money, to give her somewhere to stay rent free, mortgage free. I clothe her, I feed her. I need her to need me to do that. You understand how faulty of a mindset that is? You ain't see Yahuwah say that nan time that he needed us to need him, right? Did you ever see that? Have you ever read that? You ever read it? I ain't never read it. He said, but you need me though. He said, I don't need you. I don't have no need of you. You need of me because I have what you need. And it's not food, clothing, and shelter in the natural sense. You need the shelter of my kingdom or of my body. You need the clothing of my ruah, and you need the food of my word. So you need me, I don't need you. I never understood that thought process when I was younger. Like, why would I need to be needed by somebody who wants me to take care of them? That sounds like to me that I am desiring to be the servant of someone who is supposed to be beneath me, that I'm supposed to lead. Why am I serving her in this capacity that I need her to let me expend all my wealth and all these things on her so I can feel better about myself as a man? That means that's something your mama taught you. Because I know ain't no man told you that. What you say, cuz? What you say? A banana? Oh, I can't. My wife need those. She put them in her smoothie. I don't partake myself.
But since you asked,
I appreciate your candor. You been all right? You good? I see you got your Henley on. You got a tablet. I don't know what you're trying to tell me. You want a sandwich? Oh, I can't help you. Clearly. Let me get ready to wrap this up. We get on out of here, man. Come on back to Zechariah 5, man. 5 and 5. It was just funny. They were going back and forth by that one. And I'm like, shoot. Why would because the reason why I say that, because to say that I need to be needed, that sounds like codependency to me. And that's not a masculine place to be. Because if you don't need it, the reason why I say, because if you need to be needed, and this person doesn't need you, then where will that put your mental state at? You know what I'm saying? Now this person don't need me. What am I going to do? Is that going to sap your motivation to do what it is that you need to do for yourself as a man? You know what I'm talking about? Will it cause you to fall into disarray? Nobody knows. What you say? It's okay. You don't have to worry about those things right now. No, I'm just serious, because that's what all jokes aside, that's what I really heard. That sounds like codependency. You know what I'm saying? As a man, we should only be dependent upon you. You know what I'm talking about? Because I say, man, especially dealing with flesh and blood, that flesh and blood can be removed from you at any time. There's no way that you want to allow yourself to get in that type of position. You don't want that to happen to you. Zechariah 5 and 5. Then the Malachim that talked with me went forth and said unto him, lift up now your eyes and see what this is that go forth. And he said, what is it? He said, this is an ephod that go forth. And he said, moreover, this is their resemblance through the whole earth. Y'all know what an ephod is, right?
it's a little piece of bread.
That's a measurement. That's a measurement.
That was a piece of bread.
Now, when it said resemblance, it's ayin. Y'all know what that is. So this is what you can see in the earth. So if there's a measurement, let's come over here to Deuteronomy 25 real quick, like 25 and 14. Honestly, though, I ain't gonna take. And the main reason why I mentioned that need to be needed, 25 and 13, if you would, Deuteronomy. I think a lot of these brews need to be needed, and that's why they be out here talking the stuff that they be talking and posting and sharing the stuff that they be need. Because I think if some of them felt like if they didn't feel like people needed to hear what they were saying or posting, I think a lot of them wouldn't be able to function. That's just my personal thing.
Especially because a lot of them people that do that got a lot of followers.
Got a lot of followers.
So only they ain't have a following.
They wouldn't know what to do. Because they're not solidified in Yahuwah, they're not solidified as a man. Deuteronomy 25 and 13, you shall not have in your bag diverse weights, of great and small. You shall not have in your house diverse measures, great and small. You shall have a perfect and just weight. A perfect and just measure shall you have, that your days may be lengthened in the land which Yahuwah your Elohim has given you. Now, that's a passage coming in my head, but it's like this here, right? He said, they've been weighed in the balance. Hold on one second. Nah. Sit down, son, before you fall. Well, that's going to be on you then. Oh, you did? Okay, yes, sir. Come over here to Isaiah chapter 40. Make it verse 9. But we got to finish Zechariah 5 and let that rest where it rests. Let it be where it be. Let it stay where it stay. O Zion, this is Isaiah 40 and 9. O Zion, that bring good tidings, get you up into the high mountain, O Jerusalem, that bring good tidings, lift up your voice with strength, lift it up, be not afraid, and say unto the cities of Yehuda, behold, your Elohim. Behold, Yahuwah will come with strong, and his arm shall rule for him. Behold, his reward is with him, and his work before him. He shall feed his flock like a shepherd. He shall gather the lambs with his arm and carry them in his bosom, and shall gently lead those that are with young. Who have measured the waters in the hollow of his hand. Y'all know what that referring to, right? Piercing, things of that sort. And meted out Shamahim with the span, and comprehended the dust of the earth in a measure, and weighed the mountains in scales and the hills in a balance. Now, of course, when he talking about all this here, this is weighing it out for judgment. Remember, you got to have a just weight and a just balance. That's probably where, along with the false god that they had, what's they call her? Lady Justice, whatever that whore name is. She's blind. See, one thing about Yahuwah Justice ain't blind. Yahuwah see very well. He just judged righteously, and he ain't got no respect of persons. See, that's their way of saying we ain't got no respect of persons. But if you're blind, that means you can't see. And if you can't see, that means you can't judge correctly. Because guess what that means if you can't see? Guess where you're dwelling at? In darkness, and that's not what Yahuwah do. Yahuwah say, come to the light, and I'll judge you. That's what he said. Come on back to Zechariah 5. You all right, son? Hmm? Let me read verse 7 one more time. So again, right, and it's stuff in Jeremiah 51 that I wanted to grab, and y'all willing, maybe we'll double back on that on tomorrow. And fourth is that this judgment is seen in the earth. Behold, there was lifted up of this verse. I did read verse 7. We can read verse. We in verse 7. Behold, there was lifted up a talent of lead, and there was a woman that sit in the midst of the ephod. So guess what she's sitting in the midst of measurement or in the midst of judgment? And he said, this is wickedness. And he cast it in the midst of the ephod and cast the weight of the lead upon the mouth thereof. Then I lifted up my eyes and looked, and there came out two women, and wind was in their wings. Wind is ruach, wings is meaning border or extremity or literal wings. For they had wings like the wings of a stork. And they lifted up the ephod between the heaven and the earth. Revelation 18. Now, I told you, right, when I was talking to bro about it on Sunday, he said his homeboy told him the two women had to be unclean spirits because they had the wings of a stork, and the stork is unclean. And I'm like, whoever told you that is devoid of any manner of intelligence. Now, I just want y'all to see this here, right? Wings is a word that y'all know. That's kanaf. That's wing, extremity, edged, wing, or border. So guess what? There was the wind or the ruach in their border. Now, the ephod, remember, right? Because what did it say that he did with the ephod? There was a woman, he said this was wickedness, and he cast the lead upon the mouth thereof to weigh her in the judgment. Lead. Again, this is ophareph. This is lead. Feminine particle. Lead. Literal lead. What is the lead for? To weigh her in the balance. Revelation 18. and 4. And I heard another voice from Shamahim saying, come out of her, my people, that you be not partakers of her sins, that you receive not of her plagues. For her sins have reached unto Shamahim, and Elohim have remembered her iniquities. Reward her even as she rewarded you. Double unto her, double according to her works, and the cup which she hath filled to her double. How much has she esteemed herself and lived deliciously? So much torment and sorrow give her. For she saith in her heart, I sit a queen, and I am no widow, and shall see no sorrow. Wickedness. And we didn't read the verses that precede that. But guess why it's in between heaven and earth? Because she getting weighed in the balance. Verse 10, then I said to the Malachim that talked with me, whether do these bear the ephod? So let's look at bear. It should be Nasa. And this one is Yalak. Yalak means their manner of life. You understand? To die, live, or manner of life. Whither does the manner of life of this ephah? What is the judgment of this measurement? And he said unto me to build it a house in the land of Shinar. Michael, do you know what the land of Shinar is? Do you know what that is? Where that is? Who knows where the land of Shinar is? That is Babylon. That is a literal name for Babylon. Zechariah 5 is talking explicitly about Babylon. Shinar, it means country of two rivers, the ancient name for the territory later known as Babylonia or Chaldea. Literally, this is about Babylon. And he said unto me to build it in the house of the land of Shinar, and it shall be established, and set it there upon her own base. Base translates to resting place. Word for base is Mekanah, resting place, base, a spot. So therefore, to build judgment, to rest in Shinar. You understand? And that judgment shall be established in that particular location. Now, see, we'll turn the page, y'all willing, on tomorrow, and we'll go to looking at chapter 6, where it talk about something we ain't talked about in a while. Oh, not the entirety of chapter 6, but it go to talking about them horses that's in Revelation, because that's where it come from. You know what I'm saying? That's where it come from. That's what I meant earlier, which y'all already here already know that. You could tell the end from the beginning, then you go back from the end being Matthew to Revelation, and you could tell the beginning at the end. Because we could be able to go, case in point, I'll give you an example. When we see Yahushua breathing the Ruach on his apostles, we go back to Genesis chapter 2. See, that's what unskilled men don't do. See, we be in the Old Testament and we taking that and we going to the New. Then we be in the New Testament and we taking that and we going back to the Old. You know what I'm talking about? So they don't understand that. And they don't mean how these things meet in harmony. That's why these dudes always talking about Paul is this and Paul is that. Paul ain't nothing. You just are unskilled. You're not a skilled scribe in the matter. So in order to make yourself feel better for your for your ineptitude, for your incompetence, you would rather just talk down on another man. But hallelujah for Yahushua in the word. We'll stop right there. I appreciate y'all time this evening. Bless y'all, the house of Elohim, in the name of Yahushua. Yahuwah willing, we'll pick this up on tomorrow at the regular time, 8 p.m. Still be our observation of Purim, but of course it'll be the weekly Sabbath, and we'll make it do what it do. So Yahuwah willing, till the next time.